Hello there, my name's Vince from Mr. Telephone, and today I'm going to talk about how to repair a CAT5e or a CAT6 cable. So pretend now you've got a network in an office or at your house and the cable's been damaged, maybe a dog's bitten through it, maybe you've had some building work and the cable's been damaged. You don't necessarily have to replace the whole cable. Obviously if it's a short distance it would be easier just to replace the cable, but if it's a bit of a nightmare run and the wiring's hidden for half of it, then you can use little junction boxes like these. Now you can get CAT5e and CAT6 rated ones. So that's the CAT5e, CAT6, and they also come in black as well. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. You can use these junction boxes, and that's the way I'm going to show you today. Or the other way of doing it is you can crimp plugs onto the end of it, RJ45 plugs like I've already shown in my other videos, and then you can get these little couplers. You can get CAT5e rated couplers, probably can't see that, and CAT6 rated couplers. Okay, you can also get other RJ45 to RJ45 couplers that are really inexpensive, but they're not actually rated at anything. So if you've got a CAT6 network or a CAT5e network, you might as well get the proper rated ones. They are more expensive, but they're still, they're still around the £5 mark, just a little bit under. So they're not big bucks. But with these are obviously really straightforward. You just crimp your plugs onto the end, and then you just plug in, and that's job done. Okay, but I think it's probably easier to use these little junction boxes. Yeah. So I'm just going to bring the camera down now, and I'm just going to show you how to repair a cut cable. Right, okay, so this is going to be our cable here. It's a CAT6 cable. See that says there, CAT6. Yeah. Now the reason I'm doing CAT6 is because if you can do it on CAT6, then you're easily going to be able to do it on CAT5e. There's not a lot of difference between the two. It's just the CAT6 has a plastic cross member running right the way through it, so it separates each of the pairs of wires. So I'm going to show you how to do it on a CAT6, and then a CAT5e will be even easier. Now this is just normal UTP, so this is unshielded. If you've got shielded cable, you will have to get a shielded version of these boxes. I don't sell the shielded version, but you can get them on eBay and Amazon. The only difference is they have a place for the shield to go, and it will continue on the shield from one side to another. So basically with these boxes, you're putting one cable in one end, terminating it, and then another cable in the other end and terminating it. Just like you're doing with the plugs and the coupler, but you don't need to crimp plugs on because these have punch down. These have little IDC punch downs, which I'll show you in a minute. So the shielded version is near enough the same as this, but it does continue on the shield, so so it's not interrupted throughout the cable. Now this is a CAT6 cable and it's white, so I'm going to be using a white CAT6 box. Now in here you will have the little junction boxes, a couple of cable ties and the screw. Yeah, don't lose the screw. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so basically that's what we have here. They're little IDC terminals, so you will need either a cheapy plastic punch down tool, or you may already have a nice professional chrome tool like so. But I'm going to show you how to use both tools on this little junction box. So put that to one side, and also we have the colour code on the lid there. Now you're going to have to check out what your network is. So for example, if, well actually, do you know what, it doesn't actually make a blind bit of difference whether it's A or B. As long as you wire both sides the same, it's going to be fine. So you don't actually have to check out your network. So as long as you wire this side B, then you wire this side B, then the cable's a complete continuation. If you're wiring this side A, then you're going to have to wire this side A as well. Otherwise the cables are going to be, you're going to turn it into a crossover cable. So just stick to the B. It's just easy to stick to the B. Everything's pretty much B nowadays anyway, so just stick to the B, which is the top colour code here. Yeah? So this is our cable, so pretend now we've damaged it. You've had some building work and you've damaged it through the middle there, and you're thinking your network's dropped out, and you need to repair this. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to cut it, and you are going to have to find a bit of slack, because you're going to need a little bit of room to make this. Yeah, you're going to need about, you're going to need about that much there. So you're going to have to find, you are going to have to find an inch or two from somewhere. So hopefully you will be able to either, pull up the slack from a corner, or if it's going under the floorboards or above a false ceiling, hopefully you will be able to find slack. If you can't find slack from anywhere, you're not going to be able to repair this. I mean, you might be able to bodge it by soldering it together or something, but it's going to be awkward, it's going to be exposed, so really you need to find slack. If, for example, this end of the cable is a long run, and this end is only a few meters to your router or to the, to wherever it's going, then you could just replace this bit, and again, use the junction box to repair it here, rather than having to run it 50 meters away to the bottom of the garden, or wherever it's going, the other side of the office block somewhere. So you do have to find slack. So assuming we've got slack, this is going to be how you make up this cable. So you have to strip it back. Now I'm going to use a little rotary coax stripper. Now I'm doing it very carefully and very gently, because the idea is I don't want to damage the wires on the inside. If you think you've damaged the wires, you are going to have to cut back further or use a drawstring. A lot of cable does have a drawstring, I'm not sure if this one does, but if you can see, I know I haven't damaged it now, because listen, did you hear that click? So I know I haven't damaged any of the inside wires. This particular cable doesn't have a drawstring, so I can't use it. But if you have damaged a wire, then you're going to have to do it again, or you're going to have to cut down carefully down the length of the cable, or use a Stanley knife. Again, be very careful of your fingers, and just do it very carefully and gently. We don't really have to be too neat. When you're putting on plugs onto the ends, you do want a dead straight line here, but when it's going into this junction box here, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how it looks, how the end of this cable is cut. Okay, so now separate them out. And we need to get rid of this plastic cross member in the middle. So the way I do this is I cut down at an angle, like so, to get rid of as much as I can, because it does get in the way. Go around all four corners, or all four sides. Give it a little twist, and it will just pop off. Okay, and now if you have a look, you can see that it's all gone, so it's not on our way in anymore. Yeah. So now we need to terminate this into this little junction box here. And if you have a look, it has got the numbers in there as well. This is the CAT6 version. There's not a lot of difference between them, it's just the circuit boards are a little bit different. Yeah? So we need to be matching up the numbers with the lid. So for example, that would be the wrong way around, because we've got 1 and 2 up here. This is the wrong way round. You've got 1 and 2 up here, but that doesn't correspond to 1 and 2 up here. So basically swap this round, and now we will have 1 and 2, and can you see it's the same there? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 6, yeah? So they correspond with each other. And the same on the other side, 1, 2. Okay, so make sure you get it the right way round, and you can just leave the lid down here as a guide. Okay, so first of all we start with the oranges. Now when you unravel them, try to unravel them as little as possible. We don't really want to unravel it all the way back, but we're not going to have much choice, and remember this is only a very short amount that even if we do have to unravel it all the way back to the sheath, this is a very short amount, but try to unravel it as little as possible. So try to keep the twists, if you can, all the way up to the termination. So it's going to be white, orange and orange. Next we're going to get the green pair. Put the white green in. and then the green. Okay, so that's going to be the same as the picture now. I'm just going to punch these in. Now when you're using this tool, because this is a professional version, it does actually cut the wires at the same time. So not only does it punch them in, but it also cuts the wires. Now I've already done a video about this, so I'm not going to waffle on about this too long, but as you punch it in there, this blade here cuts the wires. But you can equally use a cheapy little punch down tool. Now make sure it goes in the right way. If you can have a look, you've got a little guide here, a wire guide, so that needs to go onto the wire. So if we were to push it in here, then it would go in. It would go in like so, okay? With the wire guide towards the middle. And if you just do it on a test one, if you do it, so it's hard to do this, judging where the camera is because I'm so zoomed in. Right, if we do it here, you can see it goes in nice and easy, yeah? But if I put it in the wrong way round, you see it struggles to go in. You could probably force it and break it, but this way it goes in nice and easy. And it's the same with the professional tool. You always put the blade to where you want to cut the wire, so it goes in that way. If you were to go in this way, again it doesn't want to go in. Yeah, so never force it. So I'll just use a cheapy tool for this one, just to show you. So again, we can punch it in, and then what we can do is we can snip the excess wire, because it will have excess wire, because the cheapy tool doesn't actually punch it in. So if we have a look there, oh, I've got that the wrong way, haven't I? There you go. Okay, so we've followed the B, the one on the top. White, orange, orange, white, green, green. Now I'm going to do the same for the bottom one. Now it's up to you what order you put them in, but I find if you do it this way, then they don't sort of get tangled up around each other. So I am just going to punch these ones in now, the blues. If you're ever unsure whether it's gone in, always give it a little double punch just to make sure it is making the connection, because that blue one doesn't look like it's gone in very nice. Okay, so now the blues are in. Now we just got to do the browns. White, brown, and then brown, just like the lid. When using the tool, make sure it goes down nice and straight. Don't go putting it at an angle like that, because you will spread the metal V. In here it's just a metal, a metal V, and when the wire goes in, it cuts the sheath on the outside to touch the copper on the inside. But if you have a look there now, you can see that the wires are all terminated. Just like the lid, following the B. So the browns are down the bottom, white, brown, brown, blue, white, blue, and the top is white, orange, orange, white, green, and green. And now get yourself the little cable tie, because it comes with 2 cable ties. And this is the bit for the cable ties here. Yeah, so you put them in like that. That's how your cable ties go, okay? Yeah, in this bit here. Let me zoom out a bit, this is so awkward. Just filming on my own today, so apologies. And I've put the cable tie in the wrong way around. Right. The cable tie has to go with this bit like that, yeah? So then when you put it in here, it will zip up at the end. So it has to go that way around. If you had it the wrong way around, it doesn't zip up because you're putting it back to front. you'll soon work out when you actually come to do it, you'll realise that it doesn't go one way. So I'm just going to put the cable tie in this side here, so then we're finished with this one. It nice and tight. Can you see now that cable ties on? Yeah, so when you pull that, it's not going to go anywhere now. It's nice and tight onto the box. Let's give that a snip. Now we need to do exactly the same on the other side, following again the colour code on the lid. So strip back the amount you need. Yeah, so I know again that I haven't damaged any of the inside wires. Separate out the pairs so we can get rid of the plastic cross member in the middle. Cut down at an angle, working your way round the plastic. Give that a twist and pull it out. Okay. As you can see, there's no plastic there now. Now, also when you're positioning it here, we know that the oranges need to go up at the top here. So basically, position the cable so that the orange is already that side, because if you position it round so that the brown's that side, then you're already making it awkward for yourself, because that orange now has to cross over the other wires to get to it. So just make it easy for yourself and have a quick look at the colour. And I know that orange and green are up top, so just put the cable so that the orange and green are up the top already, and then when you place it there, you can already see they're kind of already falling into place. Yeah, it's just a lot easier because then the wires are not all crossing over each other. So untwist the oranges, the minimum amount. So white orange there. And solid orange next to it. And then we've got the greens. So we've got white, green, and then green. I'm going to punch these in using the cheap tool. That's the green in. No. Let's try that again. The green in. And the white green. Okay, so it does work, it's just they're just not as nice. So let's go back to the professional tool to punch the orange in. With the other wires out of the way. Okay, now cut off the little bits of excess where we use the cheap tool. And if you have a look now, excuse me, you can see that there we go, so that's the top, the orange and the green, and now we're going to push through the blues and the browns. Again, I'm going to do the blues next, because otherwise the browns will get in their way. Now I'm going to do the browns. Okay, so if you have a look there, you'll see that now it mimics the lid. So I've copied the lid using the B configuration. So all I have to do now is put the cable tie on this side here, put the lid on, and we'll test it. Hopefully it should test okay. So we put the cable tie in, like so. Loop it round. Now put the this part here, the bit that actually that secures it, put this bit low down because it's only a very small cable. Put it low down like that. Push it through and then tighten it up, and as we tighten it up the bit will move around there. Okay, so now that's tightened up. Snip off the excess, make it nice and neat. So that's our finished CAT6 junction box. And now pop the lid on it. Again, put it the right way round so it just makes it easier for the next person who comes along. So put it the right way round, the way you've just done it. Do up the little screw. And there we have it. That should be repaired. We'll just test it now and check it out. I'm just going to zoom out on the camera, move it back to here so I can see what's going on. Okay, so cheapy tester, again, get them off eBay for a few quid. They're not expensive. They don't do anything apart from check the continuity between the wires. So the idea is you take this end off and you put it in your shed or your bedroom or your office, wherever the end of it is, and this is the sender unit, and this puts a little, it's just a continuity tester, so it's going across each of the pins, putting a little pulse down it, and when this side detects it, the light will light up. So hopefully now, when we plug our broken, repaired cable into this, it should go across all 8 pins. So we'll plug one end into here, and we plug the other end via a patch lead into our little wall socket, and we should have, let's have a look what we've got. On this side here we should have it go through 8 pins, and there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we know now that that cable is testing okay as far as the continuity. So what you should find, because we've installed it, it's proper CAT6 cable, it's a little CAT6 rated junction box, you should find that that your network will be back up and running as it was. So these are exactly the same if you use the CAT6, CAT5e or the shielded version, and obviously the colour doesn't make a blind bit of difference. So yeah, hopefully you found that useful. Maybe you didn't know that these products existed, you do now. If you do need to get them, again, all of these things, they're roughly under a £5, including postage in the UK. So yeah, please check out my shop. That's www.mrtelephone.co.uk. Thanks very much for your time. If you like, please subscribe. Please give it a thumbs up. There will be more how-to videos in the future. So thanks very much and take care. Bye now.